This month's episode is a little late, and I'm sorry about that. But don't worry, you still have time to back the Kickstarter to create a book titled The Story of the Oliver Twins, which documents the history behind the creators of the Dizzy series of titles. It's already made its £20,000 funding goal, with a paperback copy setting you back £25. On a related note, the Oliver Twins also made the unreleased NES game Wonderland Dizzy available to download for free last month, which was nice. Next, a prototype cartridge of the cancelled N64 platformer Freak Boy was found at a car boot in the UK, and the lucky collector uploaded some footage of the game online. Hopefully a playable ROM will eventually follow. Finally, the Game Gear celebrated its 25th anniversary in Japan last month, and Sega teased a possible Game Gear theme for the 3DS on Twitter. We've heard nothing on it since though, and whether the theme causes your 3DS's external speakers to break after a short amount of time is, at this stage, unconfirmed. The Wii U's eShop is usually a treasure trove of retro releases, and October was no exception. It received Game Boy Advance titles Medabots, Metabee and Rokoshu, Pocky and Rocky with Becky, and the excellent Konami Crazy Racers. There was also the N64 version of Mario Golf, SNES game Pac-Man 2 The New Adventures, and NES titles Dig Dug 2, Wild Gunman, and Hogan's Alley. There was also a downloadable version of the Wii iteration of Resident Evil 4, a title that was originally released on the GameCube. In comparison, the 3DS's eShop got just one re-release, a 3D version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, just in case Casino Night Zone wasn't trippy enough for you. The PlayStation Network continues to be a dumping ground for Hamster Corporation's Arcade Archive series though, with Goemon, Buta-san and Ajax all available to download on the PlayStation 4. Mobile devices got a much more interesting collection of titles however, with the first being Spooky point-and-click adventure Sanitarium, for both iOS and Android devices. There was then a remake of the 1990 DOS platformer Dangerous Dave in the deserted pirate's hideout for iOS, with the game's original creator John Romero behind it. And finally there was an enhanced version of Tomb Raider 2 released on Android. It's the same as the iOS iteration that was released a while back. First in this section is that the Retro Freak, a competitor to the Retron 5, is now out in Japan. The console can play SNES, Famicom, Game Boy Advance, Mega Drive and even PC Engine titles. You can buy one for just under $170 on PlayAsia right now, if you're so inclined. Next, there were a couple of good pieces of news for Dreamcast owners in October, with the first being that a cheat disc has been used to play titles on the system in widescreen. Not all games are compatible, but to get codes for which ones are, you can visit the Assembler Games forum, which I've given a link to in this video's description. Second, a way to get Sega's final home console connected to the World Wide Web was created through the use of a Raspberry Pi microcomputer through a piece of software called DreamPi. I won't bore you with the process on how it works, largely as I don't understand it myself, but you can find out more about it by following the relevant link in the description below. A wide range of homebrew news this month, with the first being the release of Fruity on the Dreamcast, with a physical copy costing you just €2.99, plus shipping. Then there was another game from the Mojon twins, this time Moggy Master on the Master System, which is actually a port of the ZX Spectrum title, Moggy. Next there was a physical cartridge version of Doctor Who for the NES, with a copy setting you back $50 plus shipping. Moving on to unreleased titles, there was a prototype port of Putty Squad for the Mega Drive made available to download for free online. Then there was some footage of the cancelled Dreamcast port of Colin McRae Rally 2.0, captured by website the Dreamcast Junkyard. There's only a single playable track, with the owner of the game apparently unwilling to release the code for the game online. At least, for now. A load of fan translations this month, and I'll start with 4 NES titles: Family Tennis, Musashi no Ken Training Days, Battlestorm, and Super Star Force Secrets of the Space-Time Almanac. The PlayStation 2 port of Phantasy Star Generation 2 also got the translation treatment, as well as Virtual Fishing on the Virtual Boy, Zoid's Legends on the Game Boy, and 19 Noinzen on the Famicom Disk System. That's all for this month then, but please do check out the latest episode of Handheld History by using the link on the left here. As always, thanks for watching.
I don't care if you people try to get in my way or not.